What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is a Sunday. It's been a little bit windy, but the winds are coming from the west today, so it should be pretty flat calm. It's been quite the morning for us. My plan was originally to go out with the trolling motor and hit some shallower spots, but for some reason my Minn Kota remote is not connecting and it's saying that I have to replace it, but that's part of fishing. So bait has been moving around. There's been a lot of mullet recently. Did not net any mullet today. I'm not a huge fan of fishing offshore with it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna run out. Hopefully we're gonna grab some ballyhoo. I'm gonna look out on we're gonna go link up to one of the buoys, grab some ballyhoo, and then the plan is we're gonna run offshore and hopefully get some drifts in. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes when we're linked up out at the buoy. Anyone can really catch ballyhoo. All you need is a box of tournament chum. You can get it at any bait shop. And then you can go hook up to any of the buoys here in South Florida. Most of them are in like 20 to 40 feet of water, but there's always kind of ballyhoo around, especially now in the winter. So I always let the chum sit in the water. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes to get them to show up. Sometimes it takes an hour. It just depends on where they're at, the current, and all those type of things. So in the meantime, I always throw out extra baits. In this sense, sometimes I throw some bottom baits. I'll throw some squid on, or whatever kind of bait I have in the boat. I'm using a small yellowtail jig here. I was hoping that we could get a couple from the bottom. But it's all about just throwing bait out and seeing what you can actually catch. I've caught anything from nice sized mutton snapper, yellowtails, jacks. I mean, you kind of name it, grouper. I've caught while I'm just sitting, waiting for bait to show up. So instead of just sitting and waiting, you might as well throw a line in and start fishing. There we go, baby. Little fish on. Woo! Nice little drag puller here, huh, boys? Little Almaco jack. There's some yellow jack in the area, but little guy. Sometimes you get to these shallow reefs and they're just covered in these small jacks. I was hoping some yellow jacks would show up, but just wasn't the case today. Caught our fair share of Almaco jacks, get small yellowtail snapper. We got a real small grouper, strawberry grouper, and we kind of threw all those back. We're looking for something a little bit better, table fare, but all in fun while you're waiting for the ballyhoo to show up. Our ballyhoo just started showing up around the boat. The current is weird today, so the wind is blowing from the north, and the current is running to the north, so they're kind of counteracting each other. So the ballyhoo aren't sticking right behind the boat. They're actually kind of circling the boat, which is odd because the chum is just moving itself around. But either way, we're going to get ourselves ready, throw the net here, and get ourselves some bait so we can head offshore. So we're doing a lot of voiceovers today because the wind is just awful. Once we get out on the reef, it's a little bit better, but the ballyhoo, in the best case scenario, would show up behind the boat with your chum slick that's running behind the boat, but this time the chum slick is actually going around the boat. So the ballyhoo are close and in the front. So what we're doing here, we got to throw the net, but we got to throw it short and keep it close to the boat so we can get these things netted. Ballyhoo, typically, if you get one good toss on them, that's the best chance that you have to get the most amount in the boat. Once you start throwing the net a couple times, they do get spooked, and then they stay a little bit farther away from the boat. So always make your first throw count. It makes all the difference in the world. Plus, you don't have to wait even longer for those baits to come back and show back up. But filling up the well here, and it's time to go offshore. All right, so we got a couple dozen ballyhoo. We're gonna pack up the rest of the boat here, and then we'll see you guys out in the reef. Show you guys how I do my drift setup. So I'm going to drift 5 lines today. Off the bow of the boat, the first one's going to be a flat line. Then I like to do my second line, which is a deep bait on the bottom. My third line is a mid bait. The next line is a deep bait on the bottom, and then the last line there off the stern is a flat line. I always throw my drift sock off the front of the boat, off the bow. It keeps the bow and your boat drifting sideways. That way the lines don't get all tangled up. You can get them pretty cheap at like Bass Pro Shops. They're about 20 bucks. But today, our drift, so the wind and the current was pushing to the north, and the wind was coming from the north. So they're kind of counteracting each other. It was slowing down our drift and actually made it really rough offshore. We're looking at 4 to 6 footers on occasion. But this is the easiest. The drift sock out there helps to try to keep the boat more steady and level and keep your lines all clean. But this is our setup, and this is what we're gonna fish today.
There we go, baby. There we go. Woo-hoo. Oh. Oh, yeah. Woo. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Woo. Come on. It is a mutton snapper. Woo! Let's freaking go. Swallowed that ballyhoo, baby. Let's freaking go. Swallowed that ballyhoo whole. Look at the colors on that baby. So, nice little mutton snapper there. Perfect eating size. He swallowed that ballyhoo whole. But just see the colors on these babies. Just unbelievable. Alright guys, welcome to the kitchen. Today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I saw this recipe online and it looked really good. It's a penne alla vodka with mutton snapper on top. We're not gonna fry the mutton snapper. I know you guys, I love to fry my fish, but today what we're gonna do is we're gonna pan saute it, and then we're cooking our pasta like al dente, and then just a little bit of vodka sauce on top to make this thing really good. What we're gonna do here with our mutton snapper is we're gonna saute it. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic, salt, pepper on it, and then put it in a hot pan with a little bit of butter on both sides. And the goal is we wanna kinda cook it through and make it crispy on one side, and it's gonna be a little bit light on the other side.
Let's get this thing started. We're gonna heat up our water, get our pasta ready to go. Here's our different ingredients that we're using today. So we got our penne, butter, we got our vodka sauce, we have our garlic salt, and then some Parmesan cheese, some regular salt if you want to add that too. Mutton snapper fillets, I already cleaned these up, patted them dry, and got them ready to go. Got our vodka sauce on the stove and we're just heating it up. Pasta's almost ready to go. And now it's time to get that mutton snapper cooking. So do some hefty garlic salt on all sides so we're ready for the pan. It's gonna taste real nice, but get that butter in the pan. Nothing's better than sauteing butter. And let's get it going. Pan is buttered. And put these in and make them nice and sizzling hot. Ooh, baby. So
So we're gonna cook these guys for about 5 minutes on the first side, and then we're gonna flip it, and it's gonna be a quicker cook on the second. I kind of want to 3/4 cook it through on one side so we can get a nice caramelized finish and make it a little bit crispy on the bottom of the fish. Nice and golden brown there. Woo, that one looks good. All right, guys, our mutton snapper is done cooking. You can kind of see it. It is nice and flaky, kind of crusty on one side. What we're gonna do, we got our pasta right here, our penne. I didn't mix it together, but we're gonna spoon it kind of on here. Get ourselves some sauce. And we're gonna finish it off with a nice mutton snapper fillet. Perfect. We're gonna put a little bit more sauce on the top. Let's get it that good. A little Parmesan cheese. I like my cheese on my pasta. There we go. Look how fantastic that looks. All right, guys, it is late. I am starving. This turned out just absolutely fantastic. I would have made my own sauce, or at least tried to, but we did this one a little bit quick. So let's give this one a go and see how it turned out. It's really good. And what makes it even better is the fish being kind of crispy. Because then it's not soggy. It almost tastes like you breaded it. But I could imagine how much better this would be, you know, if I had just regular or homemade sauce as well. But thanks so much for watching, guys. If you guys watched to the end, I really appreciate it. I'm trying to put some more time into these videos. I really enjoy just, you know, sharing my time out in the water with you guys. So if there's any suggestions on videos you guys would like to see, drop them in the comment box below. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching again, and we'll see you guys next week.